Maybe something should be said about, I remember once giving a talk in church on Mother's Day, and it was supposed to be about Mother. And I remember that talk because when I was giving it, I said I couldn't give a talk about Mother. It was Mom and Dad. There was no separating the two. Mom and Dad's relationship it developed into a very unique one. It was extremely appropriate that the two of them died together. It would have been really strange if one of them had lived or one hadn't. When I went on my mission, I don't ever remember ever wanting to go on a mission. My bishop called me in his office and said he felt like he should call me on a mission, and the thought had never occurred to me. And I really didn't particularly want to. But, you know, okay. And the folks thought fine. But it was not something I had always dreamt about doing, and it was very difficult leaving home. Leaving Mom and Dad. I guess being one of the younger two kids I was very tied to my parents' apron strings, and I say that because Dad and Mom both did the cooking. Could cook. Mother was the cook, but Dad was, you know, he made the candy, and he could make bread, and he made the butter, and whenever he wanted custard or cabbage, he always asked me if I wanted some because Mom didn't cook it, and he liked it. So anyway, but it was really difficult leaving, and I was homesick the entire time I was gone. And I remember thinking while I was on my mission, if I'd ever, I remember distinctly the wheels touching down on the tarmac in London when the plane landed. I remember thinking, as it hit, I thought, oh, I'm on the other side of the world from Mom and Dad. I wonder if I'll ever see them again. And I thought, I can't just walk in the house, sit on the sofa, put my feet on that shelf under the end table and just visit with Mother. I thought to myself, they might as well be dead to me because I can't, well, in those days you didn't call unless you cost an arm and a leg to even call. And the entire time I was gone, wondering if I'd ever if something would happen to one or the other of them. And I remember thinking, I wonder if something's going to happen to one of them, which one would be best if it happened to. And I couldn't figure it out. I remember thinking, boy, when one of the kids had a baby and Mother was gone overnight or something, Dad wandered around the house like he was a lost puppy dog. He couldn't sleep at night when Mom wasn't there. And, you know, he didn't fuss or anything. He just wandered around and didn't sleep. And he just seemed lost when she wasn't around. And I remember Mother, well, I can tell that story later, but she just sort of submerged her personality into Dad. And I just couldn't feature the two of them apart from one another. Dad never had a job where he went off for 8 hours and then came home. Mother, when he was on the farm, Mother would take lunch out to the field, and he could come in and out as he pleased. And when he had the gas station, Mom was his bookkeeper, and she was always down there with him. And When he was even sheriff, I can remember if he had a prisoner to take to Boise to prison, Mother went along, or when he was sheriff, he could come home anytime he wanted to. It was not as if they ever spent much time apart from one another. And so in my mind, you just didn't separate Mom and Dad. It was Mom and Dad. And I remember thinking, boy, the Lord, I'm over here doing the work for the Lord, and if He let something happen to one of my parents, I wouldn't forgive him. I thought, I've apostatized from the church. That would just be too unfair. So, I'm getting into something I didn't know I was going to talk about. When I heard that Mom and Dad died, in my mind, I could not decide. And I remember thinking, something's going to happen to one of them, it better happen to both. And that's what happened. It's many people have told me afterwards, so I wish, Uncle Kai particularly, Aunt Louise died several years before he did, and I remember visiting with Kai, and he'd say, I wish that I could have gone with Louise like Vi did with Roland. It was a special blessing that they were able to go together. Couldn't separate the two. Why did I get stuck talking about that?
Well, you started by talking about the talk that you wrote.
Oh, yeah. That they were inseparable.